Hello everybody, today I'm going to show you how to fix this rather frustrating error message that you get when trying to install Windows 11 inside of VirtualBox. When you try to use VirtualBox to install Windows 11, you will probably get this very weird error message that says, this PC can't run Windows 11. And I'm thinking, this is weird. I know my PC can run Windows 11 because I'm running it on my actual PC that I'm using to emulate this virtual machine. So if I can run Windows 11 on my computer, why wouldn't I be able to use it inside of a virtual machine? As it turns out, there's actually a very simple solution to fix this issue, and I will do my best to explain why this is happening, why you're getting this message. So when you get to this message that says this PC can't run Windows 11, what you need to do is restart the virtual machine. So I'm just going to close it, power it off, and then restart it inside of VirtualBox. And then once it gets to the first screen that you see in Windows Setup, you don't want to proceed. You just want to wait for it to boot up and don't click anything. I'll show you what to do from there. This issue is very easy to fix, so don't let it stop you from installing Windows 11 inside of VirtualBox. So we'll just give it a second to load the installer. I don't know why it's lagging. I was not having this issue previously, but that's weird. Okay, so once it gets to this screen, don't click anything, don't hit next or anything. What you need to do is press Shift and F10 on your keyboard to bring up the command prompt. Next, we need to type regedit. So this is short for registry editor. Make sure you spell it correctly, hit enter, and that will bring up the registry editor. So now we can edit the Windows registry. Now don't edit or change anything that I don't show you how to do because it can mess stuff up. But if you just follow the exact steps that I show you, it's very simple to do. So what you need to do is find HKey local machine, hit the arrow that expands it, and now we need to go down to system and hit the arrow that expands system. Next, we need to right-click on Setup, go to New, and under New, we need to make a new key. So we need to name this key Lab Config. Make sure that the L is capitalized and the C is capitalized, so Lab Config. So now that you've done that, what you need to do, go ahead and click it, make sure that it's selected. And now we need to, in any of this white space here, right click, go to new, and we need DWORD 32-bit value. So go ahead, click that, and what we need to name it is bypass Tpm Check. So basically what this is doing is there's this weird requirement in Windows 11 where your PC needs this trusted platform module, which is a dumb requirement. It shouldn't be a thing because it's really not necessary, but Microsoft requires it for some reason. It's preventing plenty of newer modern PCs from running Windows 11. But basically, we're just going to bypass to check if we have that altogether, so it doesn't even matter. So once you create this new value that's bypass TPM check, go ahead and double click it, and under value data we need to change that 0 to a 1. So once it says 1, hit OK. Now this should be all you have to do, because this should be the only thing preventing me from actually running Windows 11. If you've allotted less than 4 gigs of RAM, then it won't let you do it either, which we can bypass. I wouldn't recommend running it with less than 4 gigs, but just to be on the very safe side, I am going to do a few more steps. Shouldn't be necessary, but I'm going to do it just in case. This should be all you need to do is bypass that trusted platform module, but basically we're going to create another 32-bit DWORD value, and we're going to name it bypass CPU check. So this is just going to bypass what checks if the CPU is capable. Also change that value to a 1. So then we're going to do another DWORD 32-bit value. This we're going to bypass the RAM check. Again, this shouldn't be necessary since I'm allotting 4 gigs of RAM to it, but I'm just going to do it just in case, just to be on the safe side. And then the last one that we need to do, go to another 32-bit DWORD value. we're going to hit bypass secure boot check. Now this one might actually be useful. I would recommend doing this one. Again, double click, change the value to 1, hit OK. Now that should be all we have to do. Make sure that your screen looks like this. So make sure that under setup, we now have the lab config, and make sure that you've created this new key lab config, and make sure you've created these 4 32-bit dword values that have these exact names: bypass TPM check, bypass CPU check, bypass RAM check, and bypass secure boot check. Making sure that the values are all 1. So that is actually all you need to do to fix this issue. So go ahead, making sure that this matches. Go ahead and hit close. Close this. And now all we have to do is continue with the installation. Now don't restart it, just continue with the installation, and this time it will actually work. This should fix your issue because now it's no longer going to check if we have that trusted platform module, because it's not something that's recognized by the virtual machine, even if your actual computer has it. So that's just something. If we bypass that check altogether, it is no longer giving us that message that says you can't run Windows 11 on this PC because we bypassed the check. So now go ahead and proceed with the installation as normal. It is going to let us install Windows 11 as if nothing ever happened. But yeah, guys, that is actually all you need to do. You will now be able to install Windows 11 and use it just like you would before. It is very easy to do. If you see that issue in VirtualBox, you see that message that says you can't run Windows 11, just go to the registry, add that key in those values. That's all you have to do, and now you are able to install Windows 11 inside of your virtual machine. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time.